Good morning students and welcome in our second class of the gift of the Magi. Now we'll continue our remaining part. Suddenly she whirled from the window and stood before a mirror. Her eyes were shining brilliantly, but her face had lost its color within 20 seconds. Rapidly she pulled down her hair and let it fall to its full length. Now here, when Della was standing near the window, drowned in her thought and wondering what she can buy with the small amount that she had saved, suddenly she noticed herself in the mirror. Her eyes shone at the idea of selling her long hair, but her face paled at the thought of sacrificing her hair. Hurriedly, she let her hair down to see the full length of it. Now, there were two possessions of the James Dillingham Youngs in which they both took a mighty pride. One was Jim's gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. The other was Della's hair. Had the Queen of Sheba lived in the flat across the air shaft, Della would have let her hair hang out the window some day to dry, just to depreciate Her Majesty's jewels and gifts. Had King Solomon been the janitor with all his treasures piled up in the basement, Jim would have pulled out his watch every time he passed, just to see him pluck at his beard from envy. Now here, depreciate means belittle, reduced. Students, as you know that Jim and Della were very proud to have their valuable possessions. One was Jim's gold watch, which he received from his father and his father inherited from his father, and the another one was Della's hair. Further, you can see the reference of Queen of Sheba and King Solomon. Queen of Sheba was famous for her riches, while the King Solomon was known for his wealth and wisdom. Here O. Henry mentioned them, whom? Queen of Sheba and King Solomon, to emphasize that their abundance wealth have no value in comparison of Jim's watch and Della's hair. It was imagined that if the Queen of Sheba had lived in the same flat, Della would have allowed her hair to hang out of the window to dry, reducing the value of her immense wealth. In the same manner, King Solomon, who was the caretaker of his abundance wealth, would have been jealous of Jim, who frequently took out his watch to show off. So now, Della's beautiful hair fell about her rippling and shining like a cascade of brown waters. It reached below her knee and made itself almost a garment for her. And then she did it up again nervously and quickly. Once she faltered for a minute and stood still while a tear or two splashed on the worn red carpet. Here, cascade means waterfall and faltered means stopped. Here you can see that Della's beautiful hair was waving and shining like a waterfall. It was so long that it fell below her knees and made a dress for her. Suddenly, something struck in her mind. She hurriedly and anxiously pulled her hair up. She stopped for a moment and, with the thought of sacrificing her hair, tears ran down from her cheeks and fell on the carpet, which was red in color. On went her old brown jacket, on went her old brown hat, with a whirl of skirts and with a brilliant sparkle still in her eyes. She fluttered out the door and down the stairs to the street. Now here, students, can you guess what Della is about to do? Yes, you are going in the right direction. Della fixed her mind to sacrifice her hair. So, with this thought, she hurriedly wore her skirt, put on her brown jacket and hat, and with the excitement, she moved down the stairs out to the street with the hope in her eyes to sell her hair. When she stopped, the sign read, Madame Sofronie, here goods of all kinds. One flight up Della ran and collected herself, panting. Madame was large, too white and chilly. Will you buy my hair? Asked Della. I buy hair, said Madame. Take your hat off and let's have a sight at the looks of it. Down rippled the brown casket. $20, said Madame, lifting the mask with a practiced hand. Give it to me quick, said Della. Here, panting means breathing heavily and cascade means waterfall. So, on the way, she stopped and read the signboard on which it was written, Madame Sofronie, here goods of all kinds. Here, it is clear that Della was about to sell her hair to buy something worthy for Jim. Further, author threw light on Madame Sofronie, who has no beauty and was very professional. After reading the name on the signboard, she ran so hurriedly that she was out of breath. When she entered the shop, she saw a very fat lady with a fair skin but harsh voice. Here, in this conversation, you can notice that Madame Sofronie had lack of compassion, means pity, and paid a little amount to Della for her long, beautiful hair. Students, you can notice here that Della was easily agreed with the deal of $20, as if it was a huge amount for her. She quickly took that amount and spent the next 2 hours in searching thoroughly all the stores. Oh, and the next 2 hours tripped by on rosy wings. Soon she was ransacking the stores for Jim's present. Here, ransacking means searching thoroughly. The phrase tripped on by rosy wings describes how quickly 2 hours passed in searching a present for Jim. Della was in a present mood, busy in finding a nice Christmas present for her husband Jim. She was very busy in that task and didn't notice how swiftly the next 2 hours passed. She found it at last. It surely had been made for Jim and no one else. There was no other like it in any of the stores, and she had turned all of them inside out. It was a platinum fob chain, simple and chaste in design, properly proclaiming its value by substance alone and not by superficial ornamentation, as all good things should do. It was even worthy of the watch. Here, fob chain means a chain attached to a watch for carrying in a waistcoat, and chaste means pure. So, at last, Della found a perfect gift which she thought that only Jim deserved and nobody else. According to her, that gift was exclusive, which we can also say unique, which can't be found in any other stores. It was a platinum fob chain which was pure and decent in design, that reflected its value due to its metal and not because of the accessories used to beautify its appearance. The price of the fob chain was worthy enough to pay for the watch. As soon as she saw it, she knew that it must be Jim's. It was like him, quietness and value. The description applied to both. $21 they took from her for it, and she hurried home with the 87 cents. With that chain on his watch, Jim might be properly anxious about the time in any company. Grand as the watch was, he sometimes looked at it on the sly on account of the old leather strap that he used in place of a chain. Here in this para, it is written, it was like him, quietness and value. The description applied to both. This line suggests that Jim has the qualities like the watch, quiet and valuable. Della paid $21 and took the remaining amount back with her. Della thought that when Jim would attach that fob chain with the watch, he would be more anxious to reach in any company on time. That reflects his character of quietness and hard work. According to Della, now Jim will not look at his watch secretly due to its old leather strap. Now he will be more anxious to reach in any company on time after using that grand fob chain. When Della reached home, her intoxication gave way a little to prudence and reason. She got out her curling iron and lighted the gas and went to work repairing the ravages made by generosity added to love, which is always a tremendous task. Dear friends, a mammoth task. Here, intoxication means extreme happiness. Prudence means cautiousness. You can also say wisdom. And ravages means the destructive effect of something. Here, O. Henry described Della as an overly emotional and an extremely happy girl who has to come down from her towering feelings because she has to be practical in her life. When Della reached home, her extreme happiness collapsed a little wisdom and understanding. She took out curling irons to mold her hair into the shape she desired. She did her best with the curling irons to make herself pretty. Now, here Della knew that it will be a bitter surprise for Jim to see her without her long hair. So she was trying to look best, which was a difficult task. Within 40 minutes, her head was covered with tiny, close-line curls that made her look wonderfully like a truant schoolboy. She looked at her reflection in the mirror long, carefully and critically. Here, like a truant schoolboy means when Della with cropped hair is said to look like a naughty schoolboy who stays away from school without permission. After some time, her head was covered with tiny curly hair that gave a look of naughty boy. She stood for long in front of the mirror, observing and finding the errors. We can also say that she was simply standing and analyzing herself, that whether she looks pretty or not in that new look. So students, I hope that you understood well. So, study well. Thank you.